Hey everyone, my name is Tovabi and today I will be showing you how I made My Love Is For Your Heart, first single I ever released. So let's dive straight into it. Alright, here we have the project. Yeah, I mainly use FL Studio. That was just a thing I got recommended when starting, so then I started using it. Yeah, I think it's good to explain how I started making this song. Because we all know you sometimes just are doing things and you're like humming or whistling. So yeah, that's basically how I had the idea generated for this song. I think I was in the shower and then I was just humming, doing things like singing and things some people do. I hope some other people do because I can't believe that I'm the only one. I started humming and I was like and something like that, and then I started like doing different things with it and I was like and then I was like, oh yeah, that sounds like pretty fun. Even though it's repetitive, I might be able to work that out. And I think it's good that you just, when you have an idea, you just start working it out. Just do it. So I put it in a piano over here and yeah, eventually did some sound design and everything. So the lead, I actually got really quickly. I started with the lead and it sounds like this. Yeah, actually it's not really complicated at all. I think it's also good. It has got a bit of repetitiveness, like I said, but then I switched it up at the end to make it a bit more interesting with the and then it sounded like it has a flow. And in order to add the rhythm to it, I eventually added the chords. Some people would say it's not a really complicated chord progression, because it isn't, but it just works with the lead. I really try to emphasize this lead. So I just put in the pianos and it sounds like this. That's the chord progression. When you have that, you add a kick and you add the bass. So when we get that, we have this for the bass. So I filled in the gaps of the chords, because you have the t t t t t, and then for the bass I did which adds to that rhythm. It just enhances it. Then I have the drums. So we have two drum loops, one snap, and for a bit more lead in the rhythm I also added the hi-hat. I think it's a closed one. Yeah, I added the closed hi-hat. So when you put it all together, you will get the following. Which sounds really nice. As you can hear, I added some other effects like white noise and impacts for the drop. And I think it's really cool also how I built up towards the drop. We have to start at the beginning of the song, because here is where you get introduced to the lead. And throughout the song, I will give more snippets of the lead. In that way, I hope it keeps people interested. We started with the chords first. The first chords you hear are the following. Like, it's also not a big chord progression, but when you give in a bit of automation and introduce the lead to it, then it starts to have a bit more character. And then we will build it up with the bass, and eventually we will get more drums, and then we go to the bridge and then to the pre-chorus. As you can hear, we have like the snippets. Here we build a bit up, we use some effects. Then we get to the bridge, and the bridge is really interesting because this is a part I changed the most throughout the process. Now it sounds like the following. But it hasn't always been like that. First it was like this. And I was like, nah, this ain't it. This ain't it, chief. I had like a bit of weird feelings with this as a bridge because I didn't really feel like it fit with the rhythm of the song in other parts. Yeah, then I just decided this ain't it. I had to take it out. So I did that. And there's more that I took out because I also did vocal chops for this song. That's also the gray part you see here, which I eventually just didn't use. So it sounded a bit different with the pre-chorus. And it sounded like this. So as you can hear, I did vocal chops of oh my love. That I vocal chopped that, and eventually I would say, all my love is for your heart, or I would sing it, not say it. I wanted to have something singable in the first place, but eventually I took it out because vocal chops are not really like something you can sing to, and I did write some text, but I just didn't feel it. It didn't give me this spark. You know when you do something good, you know that it is good because you think it's logical, and here it didn't feel logical to put it in. I still kept the title though. The part I wrote was like, all my love is for your heart. I was like, well, it still is a good title for the song. So that's actually the part I kept. And yeah, to build the song out a bit more, I made it an extended version. So eventually I did my own drum loop. So I did the drum loop myself. I tried to put it on the drop first, but then it didn't really work. So I just used it in other parts where it did fit. And this is what the song is now. So yeah, it's also good to sometimes do things yourself and try things out yourself, because that also kind of gives a bit of character to the song. Like, we can use drum loops all the time, but it's also fun to sometimes make something yourself. And I was like, well, I wanted to try it, and eventually it worked out. And then I was like, well, maybe it doesn't work out in the main part where I wanted to use it, but try it using it in different parts, and there it does fit. Eventually things just come together, and that's also how I made this song. Like, it's just a thing of things coming together, and eventually just making the decisions to keep things, to maybe do other things with it, or maybe just don't do anything at all with it. And yeah, that's how I made this song. It all just started with the lead, and eventually I built it out, and then I had this. And that's how I made My Love Is For Your Heart. I hope you guys enjoyed this, getting to know my thought process a bit behind the song, and if you did, please leave a like to the video. I hope I can release something new soon. I am a bit of a perfectionist myself, so it might take a while, but I want to do things right. I hope you understand that. So for now, enjoy my music. It's out on Spotify, Apple, YouTube. You know where to find it. So keep listening to the music and have a good day. But for now, I have to say goodbye.